So if you live in New Jersey, or if you've been searching for a home here over the last couple of years, you likely are familiar with how competitive the market is and the housing crisis that's currently going on. And in today's video, I want to talk about why that's happening. A lot of people see this happening. They're trying to buy a home, they're getting outbid, homes are selling super quickly, and they want answers, and they want to know why this is happening. So in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about the New Jersey market. We're going to explain why we have a housing shortage, and we're also going to explain ways that you can combat it and different ways to make your offer stand out and help you get a home in 2025. So if you're not familiar with my channel, my name is Steven Van Ness, and I'm a local real estate agent right here in northern New Jersey with RE/MAX Select and the Morris Agent team. And I love helping people just like you find their dream homes out here in northern New Jersey. So whether you're looking to move tomorrow or a year from now, don't hesitate to reach out. All of my information is right down below. So I meet people all the time who tell me the same exact thing. We've been searching for a home for 6, 12, 24 months, and we've put multiple offers in, but we just can't get anything accepted. And they want to know why that is. Why are there so many people looking for homes here in northern New Jersey? And why are there not enough homes to be sold? Well, the answer is pretty simple. I mean, if we look at the counties that are closer to New York City, a lot of people think that, the New York City buyers are flooding into New Jersey, and that's what's causing prices to go up and this crazy competition that we've been seeing the last couple of years. And really, that's not the case. I mean, we do have people that move from New York City a little further west out here to New Jersey to increase their lifestyle, get, a bigger bang for their buck, and have just a short drive over the river into New York City. But that's not the real reason that we're seeing this problem. If that was the case, we would only see these high appreciation rates and big competition in the more eastern counties of New Jersey, like Hudson County, Essex, and Bergen. But we're not seeing it just there. This is a statewide problem. The entire state of New Jersey has a housing shortage right now. And if we look at the eastern counties, the ones that do border New York City, like Essex, Bergen, and Hudson counties, those counties are pretty congested. That is true suburban living right outside of New York City. So within those counties and those towns, there's not enough room to build anymore. The houses are right on top of each other. They've kind of built up as much as they possibly can. Now, if we move a little further out west, there's an entire different problem. So in 2006, the state put the Highlands Act into effect. Now, the Highlands Act was meant to preserve the natural land here in northern New Jersey. Now, the problem with that is that it really limits the amount that we're able to build. There's plenty of land in the northern, western, and even southern parts of the state, but the issue is the regulations. So if we look at the eastern part of the state, the counties that border New York City, we just don't have enough land, right? All the houses are close together. There's not a lot of building left to do. If we look at the northern and western part of the state, the Highlands Act covers a vast majority of that, meaning that we're not able to build more homes in that area. If we look at the southern part of the state, we have a lot of large properties, a lot of farms, and when you look at the shore towns, those towns are also pretty built up, right? So the houses are close together. Everyone wants to capitalize on the views. Everyone wants to be close to the beach. So there's just not a lot of building that can be done there. Now, New Jersey is obviously a pretty small state. We are not the smallest in the country, but we are one of the smallest in the country. So given the fact that we don't have a lot of land to build on, as well as the fact that we have these regulations that are stopping us to build on the land that we do have, we are in an environment where there is not enough inventory to satisfy the amount of demand that we have. So now, what do you do if you're trying to buy a home in New Jersey? What are the options? Well, number one, I would recommend expanding your radius a little bit, right? You might not want to give up on that town you really love. You might want to be within a 20, 30-minute drive of work, but if you look a little further out, a little further north, a little further south, a little further west, you may be able to get a bigger home for the same amount of money. So if you have a $700,000-800,000 budget and you're looking in Bergen, Essex, Hudson County area, if you come a little further west out to Morris or Sussex or Warren County, you can get a very similar home, if not a bigger one, for say $500,000. And what that will allow you to do is you can get a bigger home, have more property, and you'll be able to be more competitive when you write your offer up. You'll be able to do things like waive part of the appraisal or be a little more flexible when it comes to inspections. So if you look a little further out from where you really ideally want to be, you'll be able to get a nicer home and you'll be more competitive with your offers. Now, another tip that I always recommend is if you have a budget of $700,000, don't look at homes that are priced at $700,000. Depending on the town, depending on the area that you're looking, you want to be looking at least 5% less than that. So even if you're looking in the low 700s, that's really where you should be looking, because you have to be willing to offer over asking price in most scenarios. Now, the other thing that I get a lot is people say, well, the house is priced at $750,000, but we're gonna have to offer $775,000, and that's $25,000 more than the house is worth because it's listed at $750,000. And I always tell people, just because a home is listed at a certain price doesn't mean that's what the home is actually worth. As real estate agents, sometimes we use a technique where we underprice the home by 5, even 10% sometimes, in order to get a bidding war and sell the home quickly. Right? If we get multiple offers on the home, everyone's gonna bid against each other and ultimately drive the price up, and we're going to close at what the house is worth. But just because we list it at a certain number doesn't mean the house is worth that. So you see a $750,000 price tag, doesn't mean the house is worth $750,000, it just means that's what the realtor and the sellers have decided to put it on the market at. Now, I wanna give you some helpful tips that I use to win offers for my clients, right? I don't like to brag, but I do find myself to be pretty good at winning offers. It is very rare when I come across a scenario where there's buyers that I just can't find a home for. And typically, if that's the scenario, it could be that they have unrealistic expectations. They want to be in a certain area that just they can't afford. But in most cases, if they're able to afford the house that they want and we put offers in, we are able to win these offers. And it's because we put a few terms in our contract that set us apart and make our offer seem a lot better than it actually is, or a lot better compared to the other offers that are on the table. So put yourself in the shoes of a seller, right? There's a lot of different things that we look at when analyzing the offers that come in on a house. When I'm the listing agent, I receive multiple offers. There's a few things I look at, right? Price is obviously very important. We all want to see the highest price, but it's not necessarily the most important. Just because you have the highest offer doesn't mean that they're going to accept that offer. There's a lot of other factors that go into it, and here are some of those factors. So number one, we have price, right? Obviously very important, we do look at that. That's one of the biggest things that we do look at. Number two is gonna be down payment. How big of a down payment is that buyer putting on the house? Typically, the bigger the down payment, the better the offer looks, right? The more money you can put down on a home, or the more money you can show, the better it looks in the eyes of the seller, right? That means that you're more financially stable. That means there's less of a chance that the deal is gonna fall through down the line from you not being able to get financing. So we have price, we have down payment, and then we have mortgage type or financing type. Now, obviously, cash offers are king. We all love to see cash offers. But a lot of people think that they're getting outbid by all these cash offers, which sometimes is the case, but most times that's not the case. Most times the other buyer has just submitted a better overall offer. So we look at the financing type. Is it a conventional loan? Is it an FHA loan? Is it cash? Is it a VA loan? Is it a USDA loan? There's so many different loan types to look at. Typically, listing agents like to see either cash or a conventional offer. Now, if you have FHA, VA, USDA, there's still always ways to get your offer accepted, and unfortunately, most listing agents don't really understand the mortgage process. They don't understand that VA loans are actually the best loan type out there. They don't understand that FHA loans typically are not an issue to deal with. But they look at that and they say, I want a conventional loan or I want a cash offer. And sometimes you can't convince them otherwise. But one thing I always do when I submit offers is I send a video out to the listing agent and to the seller. So what I do is I explain my offer in detail to the listing agent so that they fully understand what my clients love about the home and why we are going to be the best offer and why they need to pick us. So now, aside from financing type, the other thing that we look at is the closing date, right? How quickly can the buyer close on the house? Do they want to close in 30 days? Do they want to close in 45, 60 days? And this is where working with the right people really comes in handy. Now, anytime I get a new buyer looking for a home, I always highly recommend that they work with the people that I recommend, right? I'll give them a couple of options from mortgage lenders, attorneys, inspectors, all the different people that we're gonna need through a transaction, because if I work with them, that means they are going to be the best of the best. I only work with people that are the best of the best in their industry to make sure that my clients have the best service and that we're able to close this deal without any issues. So if you work with the people that your agent recommends, typically you're gonna have a better experience than just going with somebody you found online, or maybe even somebody that a friend or colleague recommended to you. So working with the right people really matters, and this is when working with the right mortgage lender really matters. Sometimes people get pre-approved for a loan, they think they have to get an FHA loan, but really they're better off going with a conventional. So you need to make sure you work with a good lender who explains all of your options, who does a lot of business, and who knows a lot of the local agents. If the mortgage lender you're using knows the listing agent on the other side on the deal that you're putting an offer in on, that will help a lot. That means the listing agent is now familiar with your mortgage lender. They know that that agent or that lender does a really good job and closes deals. That is going to go a long way, and that's going to help you get an offer accepted. Now, as far as closing timeline, again, this is where a mortgage lender comes in handy. Really good mortgage lenders can close loans in under 30 days. So the typical closing is 30 to 60 days in New Jersey. Most home sellers want to see a 30-day closing. But if we're able to offer, say, a 14 or 21-day closing, that is going to make your offer stand out. And we do this all the time. People don't think it's possible to close a deal in 14 or 21 days. But when you work with the right people and your agent has experience doing this and your mortgage lender has experience doing this, it is possible. And our team has won so many deals simply because we're able to close the deal faster than the next person, even if we aren't the higher offer. Now, the next piece of advice that I would give, aside from appraisal and inspection language, which I'm sure your agent has already talked about with you, would be to offer little things like letting the sellers leave any unwanted items in the home, right? Selling a home is difficult, and moving all your furniture can be a real hassle. So if you're putting an offer in a home and you tell the sellers, hey, listen, you can leave whatever furniture you want in the home. We, as the buyer, will take care of removing it. You don't have to worry about getting dumpsters here or hiring a moving company or putting the items on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. We will handle all that for you. We will clean the house out once we purchase it. This makes a huge difference. Now, although the value of this isn't significant, it's the time that the sellers get back and the fact that they don't have as much of a hassle and they don't have to worry about completely emptying the home before closing on it. We have won so many deals just by doing this one thing. I highly recommend you consider putting this in your offer, but you want to make sure you're protected. You want to make sure they're not leaving any hazardous materials behind, and you want to make sure you're comfortable with paying a moving company or a trash removal company to come out and remove some of the items in the home. So these are just a few of the tips that I recommend to you guys, but there are so many more that we use on a daily basis in order to get offers accepted for our buyers. So if you're interested in hearing about this further, please don't hesitate to reach out. All of my information is down below. If you find this information helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all things Northern New Jersey. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.